The last thing we needed to be able to move into the bus was a bed, so let's get to it. Welcome to the Hippie Geeks and our schoolie conversion, Soul the Sunchaser. Let's dig into this project. You can probably tell that we made this video back in the fall, right after we installed the wood stove. As we are not completing the build immediately, we knew that our plans would probably change in the future, but we did want to make a solid base for the bed that we would be able to work with no matter what direction our build went. We had a couple of requirements that would dictate the size, shape, and location of the bed platform. First, we wanted to use a full mattress. A twin would have been too small, and a queen too large, so the platform needs to be a minimum of 54 inches by 75 inches. Next up, we needed to be able to hide 200 gallons of water under it. Yes, 200 gallons is a lot. Yes, our eventual plan is to boondock off-grid for long stretches of time. We want water to not be a concern, so 200 gallons of water it is. Other than that, the space underneath it will house our hot water heater, solar batteries, and probably a diesel air heater. Last, I will need it to be freestanding on its own for now, but easily added onto when we decide what we want to do with the rest of the space. I did a little sketching and figuring things out, then started cutting the pieces I would need. After that, it was time to get them up into the bus and assemble everything. The plan is to keep the water tanks as close to the midline of the bus as possible. This will allow for even weight distribution, but more importantly, it lines them up directly with the back door for installation. I am not planning on actually buying the tanks yet, but I don't want to have to tear everything back apart to get to them when we do. The height of the bed is going to be dictated by the height of the tanks on their side, which for these tanks is 26 inches. Once I had the long edge built, along with the short end, I set them up so that I could make sure that it was working out how I expected. Everything looked good, so I kept going. I needed 2 more of the long sides that I had just made, as each tank would be held in place separately. I had to put a couple of notches in the short side to clear the seat rail and another obstruction, but I was able to make quick work out of that with the oscillating saw. Once all of the pieces were ready, I set up the outer long side with the short side and squared them up with the bus and with each other. I took my time and got it right, as this was going to be the basis of the entire bed platform. Once those were set, I was able to get to work on the other 2 walls that will hold the water tanks in place. At this point, you can really get a vision of what I was going for, and that the 2 tanks will be able to be loaded directly into the back of the bus through the rear door. This part took a bit of time, as the right one ran right into the rear door latch mechanism, and I had to do a bunch of work to notch around it. Once that was finished up, it was time to create the short wall that will support the rear edge of the bed. The tanks we decided to use are actually longer than the bed itself, so this will give the plywood a place to rest on so that it is fully supported. We will be building a raised shelf between the bed and the back wall, which will give Lindsay more room to grow plants. You can see that I screwed a piece of lathe on top of the long supports just to make sure that they don't move. Surprise! It is now nighttime. I had to run to the store for more materials and then cut them to fit, but as I did not want to waste any time, I just kept working into the night. I brought the first piece of plywood up onto the bus and went around the edges checking to make sure that everything was square. After that, it was time to build the short wall that would rest on top of the seat rail and support the other piece of plywood. It went together pretty quickly, and once I checked to make sure it would fit in place, I needed to make the horizontal support for the right side of the bed. It ended up looking like a ladder, but went into place fairly quickly itself. After that, it was a simple matter of getting the plywood decking screwed into all of the supports, and the basis for our bed is pretty much complete. Obviously, the bed is not done, but it does look pretty good even at this point. We did a review of the mattress that you can see there. If you are interested in checking that out, I will leave a link in the description below. There are still some things that never quite got done, such as putting ventilation holes in the plywood. I have kept an eye on the mattress and the platform, and we have not had any mold form, which is probably because the rest of the bus is wide open and we heated through the winter with a wood stove. We will definitely be doing that before next winter though, as I do not want to risk mold forming. As expected, our plans have changed several times over the last 8 months, and they likely will again. If you have seen any of our other recent videos, the bus has been put on the back burner a bit this year, and that is fine. We will get back in here this fall and get some more of the work done. If this is your first time here visiting Soul the Sunchaser, it would be wonderful to have you subscribe. This channel is all about our schooly journey, the good, the bad, and everything in between. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and check out our Patreon page or merch store to support the channel directly. Until next time, keep seeking adventure, chasing the sun.